We finally have our hands on the new Epic Encounter set, and many thanks to Steamforged Games for sending them our way. First thing, they've changed the cover. Now you can see the actual minis on the cover, which I guess is better for the consumer, but I really like the art style of the old boxes. They were some of the coolest boxes that I own, but let me know your thoughts. I famously dislike gnolls in general. I find them pretty boring and one-dimensional and hard to include in a story as more than just animalistic antagonists. And even in combat, they usually aren't that interesting. So I'm curious to see if this box, which one? This one? This one? No, it's the other one. If this one improves them to the point where I might start using them in my campaigns, because Epic Encounters is pretty good at doing that kind of thing. So let's find out as we visit them in the Savannah of the Gnoll Pack. This video is brought to you by Hit Point Press. Are you ready to introduce a whole new style of dragon to your 5e campaigns? The Field Guide to Floral Dragons is a lushly illustrated hardcover book with 26 brand new floral dragons, plus pests, pollinators, and fungi, not to mention new magic items and poisons, all with rich lore, biology, habitats, stat blocks, and story hooks. From the tiny-sized, plane-hopping dandelion dragon, to the haughty and toxic larkspur dragon, to the kind-hearted avuncular apple tree dragon. You'll be able to get the book plus reference cards, minis, and more in the Kickstarter going on now. Use our links in the corner or in the doohickey down below. That is the Field Guide to Floral Dragons on Kickstarter now. Inside the box you have your double-sided map in the new art style, a little advert, the adventure booklet, and 18 unpainted minis in 6 different sculpts. Let's take a closer look at them. This is the Gnoll Hyena, which comes with pack tactics and a bite attack that can knock foes prone. One nice new thing in this set is that each stat block comes with modifications that you can apply depending on the tier of play. The stat blocks assume that you're playing at a middle tier, levels 5 to 9. At lower levels, they'll generally have lower ACs and do less damage, and at higher tiers, the opposite is true, and they sometimes even gain new abilities. This is the Feral Gnoll, which has the Rampage ability from the original 5e stat block, meaning he can move freely up to a new target and bite if he knocks out a foe. But he also has Bloodlust, which gives him advantage on attacks and attacks against him when he's below half health. And he has a multi-attack. I love the animalistic pose on this one as well. The Gnoll Seeker provides ranged damage. He attacks with advantage on raised terrain, which we'll talk about in a second, and he deals more damage when those advantage attacks hit. Of course, pretty much all of these gnolls can also just bite you, and a lot of them have more than one bite depending on your tier of play. The Gnoll Reaver here has a great axe and can choose to make reckless attacks if he likes. He has a higher AC but lower hit points than the Feral Gnoll. That great axe does significantly more damage too, and that's quite the wicked great axe. Honestly, I'm really looking forward to seeing how you all paint this set up. Next is the Gnoll Fang, who is a powerful support character. He has an ability literally called Slaughter, Blood, Death, Kill, with 4 exclamation points, which can give nearby allies resistance to physical damage and the ability to immediately move and make an attack. He also gains abilities while near certain terrain pieces that we'll again talk about later, and he has a punishing weapon called a Slaughter Blade that can cause foes to attack with disadvantage. And this is the Striga, a strange owl-like creature that perches up in the trees and somehow commands or controls the gnolls down below. They also play into the story presented in the book, which, again, we'll talk about shortly. They have several cleric spells to protect themselves, like Spirit Guardians and Bestow Curse. But let's talk about the map. The booklet covers the terrain features, which also have gameplay mechanics. And again, we have a new painterly style here with the maps, which I really dig. And the maps no longer have that issue of being too dark. First, we have the Savannah. 3 major terrain features here. There are 3 hollowed-out trees marked with Striga sigils. Spells cast near them might deal extra damage or generate less healing than expected. They also burn real good. The tall grass provides cover opportunities, and the oasis there is corrupted but contains some secret goodies. The other side of the map contains the Standing Stones, a sacred location for the gnolls. The ridge of the stones here house a flock of vultures and quite a few Gnoll Seekers, safely out of melee range. And the pool at the foot of the stones, well, it contains something super special. I'm gonna leave that for you to discover on your own. The Gnoll Fang that we talked about earlier derives his powers from the Standing Stones, so your adventurers are probably going to have to bring them down in order to defeat him, but once they do, they're likely going to face something even more horrific in the Gnoll Seeker, which we're going to talk about in the next video. The booklet itself is nearly 40 pages long, which may be just about the longest booklet we've gotten so far. At least it feels like it. It's got a ton of lore about the Gnolls and the Striga and the Standing Stones. You can pick and choose what makes sense for your campaign. They also present a number of different ways to help you tie it into your ongoing stories, so you can introduce it into your adventures at most any point. And with the different lore options, you can reuse the encounter in different campaigns and play the story out differently each time. These boxes are great because not only do they present a fun adventure in and of themselves, but you can always use the Gnoll minis for whatever you want, and the lore here should help you make your other Gnoll encounters way more interesting than they otherwise would be. You are encouraged to totally steal the ideas in this book for your Gnoll encounters that you have in all your adventures. Epic Encounters Savannah of the Gnoll Pack is available now for between $45 and $55. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section down below. And while you're there, subscribing to the channel and leaving us a like helps us out a lot, and I really appreciate it. Next up is our review of the Boss Box, Rage of the Gnoll Seeker, so be sure you're subscribed so you won't miss that. Also, go check out all the great deals on 5e animated cards at the Hit Point Press store using our links in the corner or down below. It's been a busy month here with a lot of Kickstarter videos, plus some real-life things that I've had to do. It's taken up a lot of time, but we have a lot of mini reviews and book reviews coming out soon, so hopefully that's something that you can look forward to. Our Blood on the Clock Tower videos are just a little bit of fun for us, and I hope you're enjoying those as well. You can find us on social media over here, and next time, I'll see you soon. So stay safe, have fun, love each other, and I will see you next time at the Gallant Goblin.